Hello, everybody. Well, we just got through going through the largest party of the summer, and that can only mean one thing. It is WXR, because today was Summerslam. I am your host, Marcus Shadow.
What the hell is this thing you're talking about? It was Summerfest.
My bad. But yes, I'm your host, Marcus Shadow. Thank you. Joining me, of course. This isn't the Gong Show. But joining me...
You remember that you watched the Gong Show? That show was terrible.
I know. I'm old, remember?
There's nothing wrong with the Gong Show. Personally, I think the Shadows More is quite interesting.
Okay, fuck you. But yes, as you could hear, joining me from merry old England, Chris, a.k.a. The Mole.
Jolly good, Governor.
And
Thanks. If it helped, I did my little bow thing I keep doing on the video.
And rounding out our little threesome, the mustachioed one, James Phoenix.
Hello.
I would also say no. I'm the one rounding us out.
Huh?
This is true. This is true.
It's true. It's true.
Yes. Yes, welcome, James Phoenix. And I'm sure you guys have noticed a lack of baldness in today's podcast. That's because my good friend Richter Hammer could not make it tonight because he will be working for another 2 hours.
How would they ever notice baldness in a podcast?
Can you recognize his voice and know he's bald?
He doesn't sound bald.
No, I'm saying they know he's bald.
No, but given that they're watching this on YouTube, they would notice a little bald picture of him.
That is true.
That is true, yeah. The face of the X-Pound.
Yeah.
But yes, as regular viewers are no doubt aware, Richter Hammer is now the permanent host of WXR, but since he cannot join us tonight, I am filling in. Yay!
He's currently off filming the Marine 4.
Yes, he is. But yes, let's. We're only going to talk about Raw and SummerSlam this week because we don't have anything for any of the rest of the stuff. Main event, Total Divas, NXT. So for Raw, let's go over to James Phoenix.
We could possibly discuss any news and stuff if any of you guys have any extra news or if you saw the panel.
I did not.
Fair enough. I thought you were going to watch it last night. It's cool.
No,
it wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's what we heard. We're not going to worry about that. I think everybody knows generally most of the news of what's going on. It goes all related to SummerSlam. Pretty much. A roster reveal. Got some information on the game.
Fair enough.
And you want to hear about the roster reveal and or the panel? Go watch Around the Pound. Up now on the X-Pound.
Indeed.
Just $9.99.
Yes. All right. So for Monday Night Raw, I have some notes since Marcus Shadow missed most of the show.
Raw is war. Explosions.
Indeed.
Explosions, then pan slowly across the bedroom to a mustached man about to fill us in. Go.
And what do you mean missed most of the show? I didn't see any of it.
Okay, you didn't see any of the show. So, things going on Raw.
Faster, more intense. Go.
Yeah. So one of the big things was we got to see a lot of cameos from celebrities wishing Hulk Hogan happy birthday as part of the Hulk Hogan birthday celebration, including such superstars as the country music band Florida Georgia Line, an assortment of NFL players, rapper Flo Rida, and of course Weird Al Yankovic. Woo! That was cool. Yeah, so there were some other celebrities there too. A lot of people wishing him happy birthday.
Since we're discussing each bit, when you mention that, I will also say I had a small, tiny problem with that.
Okay.
I didn't mind seeing Weird Al and all the other celebrities. That was cool. Yay, celebrities and stuff. However, personally, I would have rather it had gone to these people and it was stuff like the Iron Sheik, Sergeant Slaughter, Rowdy Woody Piper and stuff like that a lot more. I know we saw some of them later on, but I'm on about, you know what I mean, just through the night, all the, as well as the celebrities. I would have liked to have seen older actual, you know what I mean, older wrestlers. Like, it would have been awesome if it was like, okay, I'm on the set of Hercules, but hey, this is Dwayne The Rock Johnson wishing you happy birthday or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
I don't know if that's just me. I kind of wish there was more old wrestlers.
I agree with you. That would have made sense.
But fair enough.
So yeah, a lot of things.
And am I the only one who thinks that it was wrong of them to have Flo Rida do it? Because to me, it feels like Flo Rida only did it because he's affiliated with the WWE, not because he's anyone of any consequence.
Wait, someone affiliated with WWE appearing on WWE TV? What?
You know what I mean.
We're through the looking glass, people. Yeah, I know what you meant. But to be fair, he has met Hulk Hogan, so...
I don't know.
We're through the Oculus mirror, people.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just felt kind of weird. It's like, Weird Al Yankovic, NWO, Flo Rida. You're like, wait, what? One of these things is not like the other.
To be fair, it felt weird having like Weird Al and some of the other ones there, because it's like none of these were people I would associate with Hulk Hogan.
This is true, but at least Weird Al kind of makes sense given his age.
Kind of does, but it also stands to reason with Flo Rida talking when he's been on Raw about how he grew up watching wrestling and he's backstage doing all the Raw stuff. Like he was at WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan. Mm-hmm. It's just, I still would have rather had the wrestlers.
True.
Fair enough. So, one of the big things that took up a lot of time on running that Raw was individual promos from Lesnar and Cena, respectively.
Of course.
Lesnar's coming out to open the show, and Cena's a little later on, where they basically each gave a speech talking about how they were going to defeat the other at SummerSlam, and yada, yada, yada.
They weren't bad promos.
No, they weren't bad promos. It was just a lot of the same shtick again that we've been hearing the last few weeks.
Yeah, true, but that's normally what happens with these feuds, and they execute them fairly well for WWE TV.
They did, yeah. It was a go-home Raw, and it worked. It was pretty good.
Yeah, with how they've been doing the promos, am I the only one who would have loved to see Lesnar and Cena come out in shirts that would read like eat, speak, repeat? Because that's, I mean, seriously, as you pointed out, the entire effing month leading up to SummerSlam, it's been the same crap over and over again. It's like your promos are good, but if you're using the same promo every week, it gets old.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say, Marcus, I'm gonna have to make a call to Mama Shadow.
Why?
Well, you said eat, speak. I'm sorry, but you're supposed to chew and swallow and not speak with your mouth full. Clearly, you were not raised with manners.
Mm-hmm.
Hang your head in shame. You bring shame upon the whole Shadow clan.
Indeed. However, during the Cena promo, I will give him credit. He got a little chuckle out of the audience for saying the Brock had a case of punk bitchitis. So, there you go, Cena. So yeah, the promos were not bad. Let's see, what else did we have? Course of the evening, we had Stephanie come out and invite Daniel Bryan's physical therapist out of the crowd, and had to have a conversation about they showed some images of her helping Daniel Bryan with the physical therapy, only to, after much, my opinion, a little too much prodding for Stephanie McMahon, they dragged that a little too much, even though we all knew it was coming, and she admitted that she had an affair with Daniel Bryan, quote unquote.
To be fair, we didn't all know what was going to happen. I said to you my prediction of what was going to happen and what it was going to do, and it was exactly that. And you're like, maybe we'll see.
Fair enough, but it did seem likely. I was just hoping for a little more unpredictability from WWE, but yeah. So that happened. Brie Bella marched out there, slapped this woman in the face. I forgot her name, but anyway, she got slapped in the face and kind of beat up, and then Brie beat the crap out of Stephanie and put Stephanie in a yes lock.
Let's just call her non-specific sexual partner.
pretty much. So she beat up Stephanie, put Stephanie in a yes lock, and Stephanie was favoring her shoulder the rest of the night. And basically, as she was leaving the ring, Stephanie grabbed a microphone and basically said, "We're not waiting till SummerSlam. We end this tonight." Everybody was like, "Ooh, what's gonna happen?" So another thing that happened on Raw that was relevant was AJ was having a match with Eva Marie, only for Paige to come out. I think she came out to AJ's music, did she not? Or was it her music? I don't remember what music was playing. But anyway, Paige came out and skipped around the ring AJ style, distracting AJ long enough for Eva Marie to get a win over her. She then proceeded. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say, I liked seeing Eva Marie on Raw because, like I said, ironically, I didn't care much for her because she was always just there when they showed a group of divas. However, after watching Total Divas, I actually like her.
There you go. I'd rather see her than Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So,
I'd rather see the Big Show's steaming pile of crap than Cameron.
Well, yeah, true. So after going back out to the top of the stage, after causing AJ this match, Paige read her a poem. I only remember the beginning of it. Roses are red, wood chips are beige. I'm sorry I pushed you right off the stage. And I can't remember because she pushed her off the stage on SmackDown. I cannot remember the rest of the poem. But basically, it ended with, "Come SummerSlam, I'm going to take your title."
To be fair, she did tell her she loved her.
True.
That seemed very sweet and genuine.
Yes, frenemies.
Frenemies with benefits, I hope.
Yes.
Wow.
Indeed. So that was a thing.
Show me that on Total Divas.
There you go.
Yep, and I still think in the next WWE game, since you can start NXT, if you can pick your managers and stuff, Jim needs to take Paige as a manager, and he needs to call their affiliation the Page Turners.
There you go.
There you go.
So let's see what else we got. We had Dolph Ziggler fighting Heath Slater in a match, only for Hollywood Miz to come out and do commentary through the whole match while standing on the announce table.
Which was awesome.
It was.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
He must have been tired after doing that, having to, balance himself on the table. So I'm assuming he was standing on like the logo part, which is like not flat.
No, he was standing on the main. He was standing on the main part of the table. It's pretty flat.
Oh, he was standing on all their notes. That's great.
Yeah, well.
That's easy. All they have to do is just remember 999 over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all their notes are.
No, I'm kidding. I don't think his foot was on the note. I think it was just on the spare bit of table and on the normal. So he was balanced pretty well.
Yeah, I think they moved their computers and their papers away because they knew he was going to be standing on the table. I think they moved him to the side. But anyway, yeah. So he did some awesome commentary while standing on the table. Due to a missed distraction, Heath Slater picks up another victory. Heath Slater's on a winning streak.
Yay!
Another streak for Brock to break.
Yeah, there you go.
Yay!
So that happened. The next thing I have on my list, and I may be missing some things from Raw here, but the next thing on my list here was we had Hulk Hogan's birthday party at the end of the night.
To be fair, it's okay to miss some things due to the fact.
What?
I said it's okay to miss some things due to the fact. Yeah, we're not meant to be discussing everything that happens on Raw, just the best bits. So hey, your notes are what you think was the best bits.
No, don't tell me we're losing the X-Pound.
No, I'm here. That was a weird glitch for a second. Sorry about that, folks.
Did you hear me?
I heard you say like the first word and then you cut out.
Oh, all I said to you, Jim, was it's okay if you haven't taken out all the stuff because this show, when we mentioned it, it's meant to be just the best bits. So your notes are just the bits you feel are the best bits of Raw. So that's cool.
Fair enough. So the last thing was the Hulk Hogan birthday party at the end of the night, which was a fun segment. Hogan came out. He was introduced by Mean Gene Okerlund.
You forgot a bit.
I did.
I think only because you touched upon it at the beginning, when you didn't get to what happened later on.
Oh, right, you're right.
The Steph Bree bit.
Yeah, so later on, that's right. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So later on, we had Brie Bella come out in her ring gear for the match against Stephanie McMahon, only for Stephanie to come out still in her business attire, and inform Brie that, yeah, unfortunately, she'd like to have a match with her and settle this tonight, but the problem is that Dana Bryan's physical therapist is now pressing assault charges on her for slapping her in the face earlier. So fake security guards that were obviously Joey Mercury and some other dude, some fake cops came out and arrested her, and they took her away while Stephanie laughed and cackled like a hyena.
It's always weird how they have the same cops in every city.
I know.
Except for when Stephanie's the one that needs to be arrested.
I thought when Stephanie was arrested, we did see Joey Mercury out there again.
At her side, the cops that arrested her were other guys that actually looked like legitimate cops.
Although my guess is stuff like Joey Mercury had done as they're meant to be WWE security that they take with them. So
Maybe.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, she got herself taken away, and Stephanie.
Which, if they're supposed to be WWE security, would they then not have the authority to actually arrest someone?
they'd have the authority to take them and hold them, and take them and to arrest them or lead them to the cops.
Yeah, but he physically arrested her. He put cuffs on her.
He put cuffs on her, and he pulled out a little card that had the Miranda rights written on it, and he read them off.
Yeah. My guess is they might have, it might be like, because some private security firms do have the right to help arrest people and take them into the police.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So that happened. So then we went to the Hulk Hogan birthday party, where Mean Gene Okerlund introduced him, and much to I was very pissed off. Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart is in the ring with his bullhorn and says not a goddamn word through this whole segment.
It's always good when Jimmys don't talk.
So he was introduced. Hogan came out, and everybody was celebratory. Yay!
Yeah.
So we then had an assortment of WWE star legends come out, including, in no particular order, Ric Flair, woo,
Woo.
Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff,
Yay.
who I think has a more awesome mustache than
You?
fucking Zeb Coulter.
I thought you were going to say yourself.
Well, I mean, it's more awesome than mine, too. We had Roddy Piper come out with a frown on his face. And then we had the NWO, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash come out.
It's also worth noting, the thing I noted to you when we watched it, Ric Flair was in a suit, and Paul when Mr. Wonderful came out, he had his robe and stuff, which was awesome, as he used to have the robes, and I always felt the robes were more associated with him than Ric Flair anyway. So it seemed to me like Ric Flair was taking being respectful, if that makes sense, and allowing him, so it didn't look like a rip-off in the eyes of people who weren't familiar with who he was.
True. But in all fairness to Flair very rarely comes out in the robe unless he's actually coming to wrestle a match. If he's not wrestling, he usually comes out in a suit.
He does, but I just meant that's what it felt like.
Yeah, that was cool. So after they got to the ring, Scott Hall said, "Hey, yo." And he and Kevin Nash proceeded to have a little promo where they said, "Did you come to see Hogan in red and yellow, or did you come to see him in black and white?" And Hogan ripped his shirt off and had an NWO shirt on underneath it.
Yep.
Which looked really weird with his red and yellow bandana.
It was still awesome.
Yeah, so they went back and forth talking about the good old days and whatnot. Unfortunately, they were interrupted by out walked Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman in tow.
So
what's that?
I also wanted to know that I mentioned this to you. I'm not sure if Marcus saw that bit. I wasn't sure if he's gone back and seen any of it, but that bit when Hulk Hogan ripped off the shirt and he had the smaller, more like a tank top-ish, sleeveless NWO one underneath, you got to see Hogan's arms and stuff better. He looked ironically in better shape than some of the actual wrestlers.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, it's been stated Hogan has been training for a return to the ring, so.
Yeah, he has, but you'd think the other wrestlers who constantly train because they're wrestling, you know what I mean? It's weird seeing Hulk Hogan look like that, because it should be noted, while Hulk Hogan may or may not be people's favorite wrestler, he may or may not be good. We're not here to judge that right now. I'm going to be respectful. I'm just going to say, to his credit, he always works out well, and he always puts 100% into making himself fit and in shape. which not a lot of guys do, so I have to give him props there.
He does, yeah, and Hulk Hogan has always had the largest arms in the business, so that doesn't shock me.
Longer than Mr. Tickle?
Huh. I said largest, not longer.
True.
Yeah, which is ironic, because actually in an interview recently, Hogan mentioned the fact that he realized in retrospect that, wait a minute, I'm an idiot. My back is all screwed up because I've been doing this leg drop for 30 years. I'm the largest arms in the business. Why the hell wasn't I using a sleeper hold the whole time?
Well, an elbow drop.
Or an elbow drop, yeah.
Or a clothesline or something.
Something.
Literally, the atomic leg drop, if he did it with an elbow drop, he would have done the people's elbow before The Rock.
Pretty much. Anyway, so they got interrupted by Brock Lesnar, who basically said, "Party's over, Grandpa," and stared everybody down like they were lunch, only for Super Cena to rush in to make the save. They stared each other down, and Brock left the ring, and Cena kind of hung out and celebrated with the old dudes. However, I didn't forget Mo. The best part of the night, as this was happening and the music played, Brock kind of backs his way up the ramp, facing the ring, only to go, "I am a mercenary!"
Yep.
What?
Yeah, like I said in the past, Brock is an intimidating dude. He looks like he'll hurt you. When he speaks, as much as he's not that good on the microphone compared to like The Rock or Jericho, he still seems intimidating. He should never scream anything. Because we've had Car and I'm a mercenary. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, his voice goes very high pitched when he tries to scream, and it doesn't sound intimidating at all.
And if anyone listening to this likes to edit stuff together, the X-Pound would really appreciate it, and you can drop the link below to it. If you posted a YouTube, sort of like a techno club remix of Brock screams and "I'm a mercenary" over and over again with a nice beat. Totally appreciate
Actually,
it.
won't they have to either tweet us or post it on the website? Because doesn't YouTube not allow you to post YouTube links in comments?
Why wouldn't they?
I thought you can. I've seen people do that before now.
Yeah.
Really? Because I remember, at least for a while, they banned it. They would not allow links to be pasted into comments. I don't know if they've since lifted that ban, but I remember that being in place like for the past 5 years at least.
And fair enough.
I don't remember.
Fair
So
enough.
yeah. So that
But
was
this is a wrestling podcast. If it didn't happen in the last 3 months, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So those are the relevant points of Monday Night Raw, which led us into everything else for the week, which in turn built us up.
Oh.
To,
What was Sandow dressed as on Raw?
Sandow did not get an appearance on Raw, unfortunately.
I couldn't remember. I was like, because I like his various costumes.
They are good, but unfortunately Sandow did not get himself an appearance on Monday Night Raw, which was sad. But he got shafted in favor of long Cena Lesnar promos. Anyway, so
I would just also like to voice my opinion of that last bit, even though I didn't see it, but based on what I heard. And I know we've discussed this before, Jim, and I guess I'm in the minority with this, but it kind of peeved me to find out that Hogan's birthday was basically a vehicle for basically pushing the Lesnar-Cena match. I'm like, really? They couldn't have just let Hogan have his birthday. They had to basically bury it for Cena-Lesnar, really. I
said to you, John, that was me you mentioned it to as well with the discussion. Like I said, I don't mind that because in wrestling they've always done that. If it's someone's birthday, something's going to happen. Either like Mick Foley coming to the ring and making a spectacle out of it for the sole purpose of building up their little partnership or something. They've always done that. It's like because the wrestling shares the same tropes as soap operas. It's like if you have a wedding on WWE, it's never going to go according to plan. If you have a birthday, it's never going to go according to plan. We kind of expect that.
Which is fine. I don't expect it to go to plan. It just, like I said, it just kind of disappointed me and peeved me a little bit that that's what they chose to use it for instead of anything else.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's more like the Attitude Era and before that, and every era has done this, of they bring back past stars and then they make said face of the company save said old stars so that the crowd who like older stars will now cheer the new people. And
True.
as well as that, it wasn't really burying it. It was just the end segment for that. I think the excuse for it was to show various celebrities and a few older appearances by guys to basically show Hulk Hogan is still popular and look at all these people who like wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Flo Rida.
And Flo
I mean,
Rida.
like I said, all that stuff is fine. It's just the Cena Lesnar stuff just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That's all. I was like, I don't like that.
Like I say, I understand. I was just making the case for the other side, if you will.
Yeah.
Right.
Either way is fine.
I would just like to counter Mole's earlier point of I don't think all of them something happened. I'm pretty sure the Triple H Stephanie's original wedding went exactly to Triple H's plan.
It did. But
That's because it wasn't on WWE TV.
But that I will also point out that wedding would actually be in my favour because it interrupted Test's wedding to Stephanie, thus made it so a wedding did not go to plan on the same day.
That is
That
true.
wedding, yes.
That is true.
Booyah, history, people.
Fair enough. Well, that is it for Raw, so I'm going to throw it back over to Marcus Shadow. We can talk about the elephant of the week, the biggest party of the summer.
Oh, okay.
James Phoenix pwned count 1.
That wasn't a pwn count. I called myself fat by saying I was the elephant.
No, what you said before that about
the
talking
history.
about yeah. But
It's
yes.
Cool, it's cool. It just means Jim needs to study history more.
I do.
I'm grinning because we all know that, but no. He minored in history and majored in ballet.
Okay then.
I want that to be a thing.
At least half that statement is true. He didn't minor in history. He minored in library science.
No, I have a master's in library science. There's a difference.
I know that. I know the joke was that you majored in ballet.
Anyway.
But anyway.
Library science, with the art of trying to figure out whether or not a human being could actually stack books that way.
Ah. But yes, let's talk about Summerfest. I mean, Summerslam. Yeah. Jim and I missed the very beginning with Hulk Hogan, so yeah, I'm gonna let Mole go ahead and take that. And none of us saw the pre-show, so we're gonna kind of skip that. So take it away, Mole.
And to be honest, the pre-show was Rob Van Dam versus Cesaro, so did anybody really give a shit?
Yeah, it was RVD versus Cesaro and one giant-ass promo for Cena Lesnar, from what I heard.
And for the WWE Network for just $9.99.
Oh yeah, that too.
I was gonna say I'm gonna start before the Hulk Hogan bit. I actually liked the intro to SummerSlam.
Okay.
It was showing the feuds and shit like they normally do, but when it kept cutting to like John Cena or Brock or Randy Orton or Roman Reigns and shit, and it was like slowing them down when it had like, you know, like the effects behind them with the writing with their name, very like the old Wild West stuff when it used to introduce people. Like, I kind of like that. I really do. I don't know why. It was just kind of cool. It's a small little touch, but I liked it. But when Hulk Hogan came out, long story short, he basically hyped up the WWE Network. Which, did you know? On the WWE Network, you can get 6 pay-per-views from 6 different months for just $9.99. That's it. $9.99 covers you for 6 months of the WWE Network.
And if WWE questions it, just tell them Hulk Hogan said so, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Hogan screwed up on that one, but...
I think he just needed to add the word each or a month. Either one of those word or 2 words would have been nice.
Indeed.
But it was still cool to see Hulk Hogan again. I'll admit, Hulk Hogan's one of those guys. When he was in red and yellow, I was never a fan of him. I'll be honest. I always liked black and white Hogan, yes, but I never liked red and yellow Hogan. However, now in the later years of my life, when I see him, I do sort of get the nostalgic rush of, oh yeah, it's the old Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? It's still cool to see him.
Mm-hmm. All right, so from that we go into the first match of the night. Intercontinental Champion, The Hollywood Miz, versus challenger Dolph Ziggler, of course, for the IC title. And Ziggler wins I think he won off the zigzag, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. Why? Why did he need the title?
The best part of that was Mrs. Intro.
See, I missed the intro because when I came in, he was already in the ring.
Miz came out with a microphone and started to talk about how in a summer dominated by giant robots and giant ninja turtles, and I think he mentioned and a raccoon. It's great to finally be able to see me, the live action non-CGI movie star. And he starts to come down to the ramp, and then he starts to say, and you'll notice, it's cool to see all these other characters on the film, but I'm better than all of them. I'm better than. He starts to mention them, and he takes a little dig, and he says, I'm better than Drax the Destroyer or Hercules. And I'm like, nice. That's fucking nice.
What he mentioned was that he had something that Drax the Destroyer didn't have, that Hercules didn't have, that other superstars have, and that's. And took the sunglasses off. The moneymaker.
Yeah, but I still thought it was cool he mentioned Drax and Hercules, so obviously take a dig at Batista and The Rock. I thought that was nice.
That was good. That was good.
Because he didn't mention other ones with those two, just those two. I was like, that's a nice little dig.
Technically, would Hercules not be a double dig?
No, it's the Hercules that's out right now in the cinema is The Rock.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, because there is a lesser known Hercules movie out there starring John Morrison.
Isn't that already out?
Is it out already? I don't know. I just saw the trailer for it. I don't know when the hell it came out.
I keep seeing in bargain bins The Legend of Hercules, which has just come out.
Ah, fair enough.
Like it literally just came out and went straight to bargain bins.
Fair enough. Anywho.
But yeah, the match was decent, I suppose. It had some good back and forth. Ziggler really needs to slow the fuck down so he doesn't kill himself or somebody else.
Yeah, this is the problem I've noticed with Ziggler. I never noticed it at first, but I read wrestling review and watch and listen to wrestling reviews on the internet sometimes, and a lot of people have pointed this out. And I didn't really notice it, but I really started noticing it during this match when I watched closely. Ziggler's biggest problem, in addition to overselling shit, is that he works too damn fast. He's so energetic and says, like, I'm going to look good, that instead of working, he thinks working faster means working more intense, to kind of make a pun on our running joke. And it doesn't. And all he does is he keeps speeding up to the point that the other superstars can't keep up with him, and somebody's going to get hurt. Like, I know at one point I saw an Old Tony pointed out that, I don't know who he was facing, but there was this one match where he was supposed to Thez press a guy. And he kicked the dude, went off the ropes, and came back for the Thez press, but he did it so fast the other guy hadn't gotten up yet, and he ended up Thez pressing him while he was on the ground. And it's like, that's not how you Thez press a guy.
Yeah.
Or like in today's match where he went for the famouser and ended up famousering his own knee because he went so fast he couldn't get his left leg out from under him and actually land on his as a sitting down like he's supposed to.
Yeah, as Miz pulled out of the way to counter the move.
And I would also say with how Jim worded it, it's not a case of people like The Miz are slower than Dolph. It's just a case of he's going at a speed in which wrestling is harder to do.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said Dolph is moving so fast that the other guys can't keep up.
I know. I was just saying when he says and the other guys can't keep up, I was just saying it's not because they're so slow. It's because it's the other point. Because I know Miz is probably as fast, if not faster.
You know, it's not that they're slow. It's not like he's working in regular motion and they're moving at the speed of the Rock Giant from Neverending Story. It's that they're moving at regular speed and he's moving at Sonic the Hedgehog speed.
Speaking of the Rock Giant from Neverending Story, hi Rick.
Ha!
Big,
come on,
strong hands.
He's not going to be here.
Riding down the highway.
Yeah.
No.
Like I said, he's not going to be here. But I know for a fact he's going to watch this. So I figured we might as well give at least one joke to him because he's probably wondering, are they going to kill me or what? So no, we've made him star in the Marine 4 and we've called him a rock giant. So yay, hi Rick.
And we've also called him the voice of baldness.
Yeah.
You called him the voice of baldness. I still point out you can't sound bald.
Yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, although it was an okay match, it certainly wasn't the worst match on the card, but it just Ziggler needs to slow the hell down because he's going to hurt himself or somebody else real fast. And also, why does Ziggler need the title? I mean, why would he want that? Title's basically a curse at this point. Everybody who has the title just loses a bunch of non-title matches that gets used for nothing.
My guess is it's probably because at some point with what they're talking about with their feuds, especially with the panel and stuff, I can kind of see Cesaro getting the belt off Sheamus. So then and if they're planning to unify the titles, like everyone keeps trying to spoil, it's a
Then they
case
need
of
a face, yeah.
they need a face versus a heel.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Except they could have
Which means
very could have easily done that with Sheamus and The Miz, which, to be honest, probably would have been a better quality match.
But not if I was saying they were going to take the belt off Sheamus to maybe make Sheamus do other things, like go for the world title in the next month or two.
Fair
and
enough.
fail, but yeah. That makes sense. And then you have Cesaro unify the titles. That would, if Cesaro ends up unifying the titles, that will put him right back on the map.
I agree.
And if he unifies the title, he needs to make a point when he unifies them. I'm saying it's perfect for me to unify the Intercontinental and the US title because I am the most, and then just start going through all the languages and stuff like he used to. It's the perfect time to bring that back.
You know what WWE should do to kind of take the piss, and because I kind of like this title, if it's Cesaro that unifies it, he needs to look at the Intercontinental title, look at the US title, drop them both in the bin, and pull out a new European title.
Yep.
They wouldn't do that to the U.S. title. They would do that to, not the Intercontinental title. After they built it up and brought back the white belt and did all that shit with it, they're not going to get rid of it.
I do think they should get rid of the US title.
Yeah, they need to do that. That title's
only because, in my opinion, while the US title was good when they had two brands, out of the two of them, the US title is almost inherently more useless.
Mm-hmm.
Only in terms of what they used to say titles did, like world titles can be defended in the world, Intercontinental can be defended anywhere internationally and stuff like that. The US title can only be defended, logically speaking, in the US. The Intercontinental has more range to it, therefore the US is inherently useless. Or if they merge both together, then yeah, it still makes no sense because I don't like the new US title look either.
No, and I distinctly recall an event in the past after that title first came over for WCW where the Intercontinental Champion at the time beat him and merged it in.
They did, but they also merged the WWE title and the World Heavyweight title, but then they chose to separate them.
True, and the Intercontinental was like, because the Intercontinental title had the U.S. title merged into it, the European title moved into it, and at least one or two more. It was like the Super Mega Intercontinental. Yeah, that one. It was like
and
the Super
Light Heavyweight, I think.
Yeah, it was like, the Cruiserweight stayed out because they had that for a while, but it was like the Super Mega Intercontinental Championship or something.
I thought the Cruiserweight got merged into the Light Heavyweight, which was WWE's version, and then that got merged with the European and US and Intercontinental.
Cruiserweight was around longer, so I think Light Heavyweight got merged into Cruiserweight, and then then I don't know, because I know the Cruiserweight came back because the last Cruiserweight champion was Hornswoggle. So
yeah, they brought it back. They separated it again. It's weird.
Okay.
I think, but yeah.
And I'll admit, I never really liked the U.S. title. I didn't think it made sense. I much preferred the Intercontinental title. Like, if you were going to have one title, I was like, why? Why do they have a U.S. title and an Intercontinental? That makes no sense.
Yeah, like I said, it's better if they have two brands, like SmackDown and Raw separate again.
Yeah, with the amount of talent they have, that could actually work. Except I don't think they have enough money or would want to spend the money to actually have enough belts for both shows.
They already do. You re-separate the world title and the US, the world title and the WWE title. Boom, there's their world. You got the Intercontinental. As for the Divas title, make that unified. Same with the tag team, and just make them go on both shows because there's less tag teams and Divas.
Yeah, but they'd have to create a new world title because the current world title has the wrong logo on it.
True, but does the world title actually have the WWE logo on it?
I think so, because isn't it WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or the logo and then World Heavyweight Championship?
I can't remember, but it's easy enough to do. It's just one title.
Yeah, well, with a company that has no money, but anyway.
Fair enough.
So moving on.
They have $9.99.
They do have $9.99. This is true. But this brings us to Paige versus AJ for the Divas title. The match was kind of meh.
Awesome.
It wasn't. No, the match wasn't that great. AJ brought it down. This match just showed how crap AJ was compared to Paige. But I did love Paige's new finisher. I think they called it the Rampage, which is basically a standing package DDT. It was fucking awesome!
It was. Alright, I will also say that I did actually. I like that match. I thought it was a
So,
pretty
oh,
good
Paige
match.
wins, new Divas champion. I want that move in the game.
Yeah,
That move looks awesome.
it does. But like I said, personally, I don't know what Jim thinks, but personally, I liked that match. I thought it was a pretty good match. It wasn't the best ever matchup, but I wouldn't say it was or shit. In terms of matches, I'd say that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match.
Fair enough.
It was. It could have. It wasn't as it could have been worse. It wasn't as bad as some of the Divas matches we've seen recently. So go with it.
Or even on the same show.
Yeah, even on the same show, we're gonna get there. Yeah. So it was a decent match. Yeah, Paige's DDT was very impressive, and I thought that was a great way to end the match. Good
Yes.
counter to the. Yeah.
Indeed. All right,
Moving
so
on.
that moves us to probably my favorite match on the card, and that's saying a lot because I absolutely hate the two people who are wrestling. And that's Swagger versus Rusev in a flag match, a match type that apparently nobody can figure out what the rules are supposed to fucking be.
That match was okay.
I liked it because Rusev actually sold the injury throughout the entire match. Jim and I were watching, and we were like eagle-eyeing Rusev, being like, okay, is he actually selling it? There were a couple points, like when he did a roundhouse kick to Swagger, I was like, yeah, he put all his weight on the bad ankle to do that kick. I'm like, you shouldn't have been able to do that kick.
Yeah,
but for the most part, he sold the injury, so I was kind of impressed with Rusev.
Yeah, to be fair, he sold it because I will say, to be fair, in wrestling, it's harder to sell a leg injury than an arm injury.
Yeah.
Because every move you do, almost every move you do, will predominantly put some sort of weight upon your leg.
Yeah. And this is why this was probably my favorite match of the night, because I can't believe I'm going to say this, Rusev actually made the match good because he actually properly sold the injury for the entire match.
Yeah, to the
You're going to say that Rusev's awesome. So Swagger.
To the point that he did a modified half version of his finishing move because of the fact that he couldn't put the weight on the ankle.
Yeah, and he dropped to one knee, which I'm just like, okay, yeah, this guy's good. I believe you now. Well, this guy's good. I'm like, wow. And Swagger was decent too. I mean, give Swagger credit. He sold his injury too because he had the gut injury the whole time. So whenever he tried to do power moves, like half the time he couldn't do them because of the ribs. So I have to give Swagger credit for that.
Which is fine. And then he immediately decided, oh, my ribs are again to power moves. Let me do a Swagger bomb. Let me bounce myself off the top rope and drop myself ribs first on my opponent. That's a brilliant idea.
To be fair,
and then he sold that.
To be fair though, with that, and afterwards he held his chest and stuff. Isn't that the whole purpose of top rope moves? Whenever they normally sell them, especially if it's someone like Swagger doing, not like if it's a really small lightweight. The idea of a top rope move is you're going to destroy yourself to destroy your opponent.
True.
Yeah, which is why RVD, kind of wrongfully so in my opinion, always oversells the 5-star frog splash.
Yep.
Yeah. To the point that his overselling is part of the animation of the move in the wrestling video games.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently the rules for this supposed flag match is it's basically a regular one-on-one match whereby the winner's flag is raised and their anthem is played. What the fuck, WWE? That's not a flag match. That's your Franken match.
Yeah, it did. It was okay. And
yeah.
I think Swagger should have won.
I do too. But if I recall, Mo, what you said a flag match actually was, and what I was expecting was the flags get put like on the turnbuckles or raised somehow, and you have to go and grab your flag.
Yeah, which to be fair with that, like I said, to be fair with that, they've changed match types like that before now. Like there was one point where a kind of matchup was just that's the only one that's legal. Then suddenly it became it's on a pole. Then it became weird. You know what I mean? They're weird. They change rules all the time.
Yeah, so in this case, the rules changed 4 times between Monday night and tonight.
Yep, which is fine. I mean, we got something good out of it.
Yeah. In fact,
as Paul pointed out, or alluded to, Rusev did win the match, which I'm okay with. I think, like Mole said, I think Swagger should have won, but I'm okay with it.
Yes, and then And then once again, Rusev proceeded to then, again, put all his weight on his supposedly damaged ankle to kick Zeb Coulter in the face.
Yeah, which to be fair, how else is he going to do the kick?
Use the other foot.
If he's if he's one-footed, when you do it, if you do a kick with a leg, which you're not very good at kicking, it always looks sloppy.
True.
That's why, like in football and shit like that, or soccer as you call it, if a football player is, like, say, right-footed, you'll never see him kick the ball with the left foot because you have no control.
Fair enough.
Or direction,
Personally,
Right.
what I think he should have done is, I think he should have done what he did to Swagger and did a spinning wheel kick to
yeah.
Coulter. I think that would have been much better.
And I'm sorry, Lana was still hot throughout the whole match.
Oh, she
Oh,
was.
damn right she was.
Yeah.
It needed to be mentioned, the ravishing Russian.
In fact, I pointed out or I mentioned to Jim at the beginning of the match, I said, man, Rusev is a lucky guy to be banging that every day.
Yep. And as you mentioned, that the match ended when Jack Swagger pulled the Austin and passed out in the submission hold rather than submit.
Yep, in the accolade.
Yeah, which is good, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed that match. Like I said, I think that was probably my match of the night.
It was a good match.
Moving on to actually another good match, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins in a lumberjack match, where Ambrose did not choose wisely when it came to lumberjacks.
Ironically, I would give this match my worst match of the night.
Really? I mean, I didn't like the ending of the match because, yeah, Rollins wins off of a Kane distraction and then hitting Ambrose with the case. But I thought overall, generally, the match was actually pretty decent because the Lumberjacks actually did their job. They, regardless of who was
Eventually.
outside. Well, no, through most of the match, because regardless of who was outside, they would take them and just throw them back in the ring. They didn't try to beat them up or anything. They would just literally try to control the match.
Yeah,
which
but
I'm like, in
there was also
WWE,
part where
you
they
don't
let-
see that.
There was a part where they let him go into the crowd and stuff.
They tried to stop them and they couldn't, and
Yeah.
then Kane came out and said, "Go out there and get them." But
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, and then that was for story purposes. But if you actually watch the match,
I know.
they did their job instead of doing usually what lumberjacks do, where the heel beats on the heels beat on the face and the face is beat on the heel. They actually did their job and said, "Well, we don't care. We're just going to keep you guys in the ring," which I have to applaud them for that. I was like, that to me made it actually a good match because it was enjoyable.
I will say, yeah, for me personally, it was a case of the match quality wasn't bad. It was just because of the lumberjacks and stuff in a lumberjack match. All lumberjack matches are usually just and that was just I kind of wish they weren't there, and I just wish it was a one-on-one or something.
Yep.
This is true, but I don't think the Lumberjacks made it a bad match. And I also have to give props to Damien Sandow for coming out dressed as a lumberjack.
Yep, that worked.
That was awesome.
That was great. That was good.
Also, I have to say, Kane, you're a fucking idiot. You're going to send Sin Cara in alone to get Seth Rollins? Yeah.
That doesn't that make sense?
No, because Seth Rollins promptly beat the crap out of him, kicked him to the side, and continued on his way. Because Sin Cara is a jobber.
Yeah, but isn't Kane aligned with Seth Rollins? So wouldn't it make more sense for him to send someone weak after Seth Rollins?
That's true.
No, because he wanted them both back in the ring. Hence why the Usos and the Rhodes brothers kind of showed up there and was like, "Yeah, you're not going anywhere, Rollins."
And Biggie.
And Biggie.
Yeah. They stopped it, but like I said, it's Kane. He's aligned with the authority. The authority likes Seth Rollins. It stands to reason that they would do their normal authority crap of, look, we're trying to help, but they're not really.
Yes, and I will say props to Corporate Kane for once again getting involved, causing a brawl, which allowed Seth Rollins to smash Ambrose in the face with a briefcase and pick up the win.
Yeah.
And
Which,
what was
again,
up with Cody's response of Kane attacks Goldust, so Cody runs past Kane and assaults one of the Wyatts? It's like, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That to me made no sense. He completely ignored Kane. I'm like,
Yep.
Like, do you need glasses, dude? Did you miss who actually bitch slapped your brother? Seriously?
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Indeed. Moving on.
Moving on. Next match, Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. This match was decent. It was okay.
Well, it
Was this
wasn't bad.
before or after? Was this before or after? 'Cause I can't remember which part it was. Was this before or after the part I kind of really enjoyed in a bad way?
What's that?
What's that?
Mama's Boy.
I don't remember when that was.
Oh.
Wasn't that later?
I couldn't remember when that was, and I thought it was like midway.
When was that, Jim? Wasn't that later in the show?
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it was after this match. Maybe it was when he fell asleep.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, okay, so we'll discuss it after Jericho, then before the match after. So Jericho versus Bray Wyatt, like I said, I thought this match was decent. It was okay. My disappointment is in the fact that given who was in the match, I kind of expected better. The match was kind of boring for them.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean it was a bad match, if that makes sense. And Bray Wyatt wins.
Yeah.
Had some cool bits.
It did. Like I said, it wasn't bad.
Jericho has a new jacket. It changes colors.
Yeah, and Jim marked out for the jacket and wants that in the game.
It changes colours, just like M. Night Shyamalan's characters.
Ha!
Oh, what a twist!
What a dick.
But yeah, what did you guys think of the match?
From what I saw, not a bad. I would say right in the middle, just an average. Here's a match. I mean, it wasn't a match of the year, but it wasn't shit either. It was just a match.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I felt. And I was like, it's Jericho and Bray Wyatt. They could do better than this.
Be able to do better. Yeah.
Yeah.
After they built it up with the whole, Jericho's kept the other Wyatts out of the, away from the ring side, you'd think it would be a little more competitive, but I guess not.
I'll say personally, I thought the match itself, I thought it had moments, but I didn't think it was I didn't think it was bad. And honestly, as much as I like Bray, he's not the best in the ring. He's not the type of guy that would put on a 5-star match with Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think he could, but yeah, you're right. He's not the best in the ring.
Yeah. Well, but
my favourite moment was when Bray Wyatt was doing his crab walk and Jericho's in the corner with a "What the fuck?"
Yes, after using it to dodge a lion salt.
Yeah, I just thought that was awesome.
That was pretty cool. That was cool.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but at least one person in the front row during Bray Wyatt's entrance had a little mini lantern.
Yeah, I saw the guy. That was cool.
Do you reckon they passed him out to the people in the front row, or do you reckon he brought it himself?
I'm thinking he brought it, because that looked like some dinky piece of crap, and everybody else, I think, had their cell phones out, so I'm thinking he brought that with him.
Yeah, I think he brought it himself, or more people would have had it. Although it does stand to reason they may have passed props onto the front row. Let's not forget, during the promo which showed off Sting being back in 2K again, they cut to the front row and there was a girl with a random Sting mask on.
That
was awesome.
While wearing a Cena shirt, which I was like, I don't think that's the same audience.
Yeah.
No. But now we'll go into the promo for. I think they said it was they're going to show it in theaters. Is that right, Mole? The Mama's Boy thing.
I can't remember. I wasn't sure if it was going to be on WWE Network or something, but
I thought they said they were going to show it in theaters. Yeah, we're basically, I guess, like WWE and was it like Totino's?
Yep.
Had a contest where fans could send in little like YouTube videos of themselves as like wrestlers with promos and stuff, and whoever got picked actually got to go to like WWE training facility, go on to NXT, get trained by quote unquote trained by Bill DeMott, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn, and like actually, debut on NXT and shit. Which, kudos to the fan that got chosen, because that must have been one hell of an experience.
Yeah.
But it's a take the piss type thing, which I love, because they call them like Mama's Boy, which I was like, yes.
It was.
Yeah.
And can I just say, for the record, I want that entrance in 2K. That is
coming out of the microwave?
Coming out of the microwave with all the snacks.
Yes!
I would
take
that
that
entrance.
They called him Mama's Boy. They gave him like generic creator wrestler, like superhero style outfit, and his entrance is he gets a giant microwave on the stage, and the timer counts down, and when it hits 0, the door opens, smoke comes out, and people looking like Totino's pizza rolls come out, and he comes out behind them.
Yep, I want that as an entrance. It's
Fucking
amazing.
awesome.
And
And
like I said,
afterwards,
it's
they
one of-
cut. Okay.
like I said, it was one of those things of, personally speaking, I didn't think this. Some people were like, "Ugh, advertisements." I'm like, "Come on, it's fun." And for that
Yeah.
fan, that was a once in a lifetime experience, like you touched upon there. And I just thought it was great. I will
I love
argue.
Go ahead.
I will argue. He probably wishes he was.
You know.
The contest had been done with TNA, because then he probably would have been TNA champion. But still.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
if he's actually good enough and popular enough, he could be NXT champion. But anyway, I love that afterwards it cut to the crowd, and he was sitting in the crowd next to his mom, and of course his entire catchphrase for Mama's Boy is, "I love you, Mama." And so he turns to his mom and goes, "I love you, Mama." I was like, that's kind of awesome. That even after the competition is over, the thing has been made, it's going to debut, he still stays in character. And
Yeah.
like I don't think he's still contracted by the WWE or anything, but he still chose to stay in character. I'm like, that's awesome. And
It's
I
also
think he was wearing his ring gear, was he not?
I think he kind of was, but it's also worth pointing out, Jim, the training bit you saw, I swear that was still in character as well. Because if you notice when he was training, he couldn't do the moves at first, and they were just being like, "Yeah, he's a mama's boy, he's never going to get this." And then he did the "I love you, mamas." He did like a shoulder tackle and knocked him down, and everyone around him then sold the fact they didn't expect him to be able to be that good. So I was like, that's kind of in character. I like that.
But the whole thing was in character. It was all take the piss. So I assumed the whole thing was K-pop.
It was. I assumed the whole thing was too, but I thought some of the training might have been real based on the experience. But still, I
Yes.
loved that. That was awesome.
But yeah, I would assume the training would have had to have been real
Also,
just
if
to
you-
make sure the old people don't get their asses kicked and put in a geriatric home.
Yeah. True. But let's move on.
But yes,
I
Jim,
just
you
want to
were
add,
saying-
if anybody's interested, like I said, if anybody's interested in seeing the videos in question regarding the Mama's Boy there, you can go check that out at totinosbowl.wwe.com. You can see the videos of him training with Oldemont.
Nice.
It's a
Right,
series of
so-
episodes. It's a series of episodes, each one having a different thing. You know, the first one getting in the ring. There's one about mic skills, one about working out and training. You know, one about getting an entrance. They all have different themes, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
So now
Well,
we're going to move on to... Go ahead.
Like I said, Jim, you need to check out the actual video we saw from the pay-per-view. I liked it.
Fair enough.
Yes, but
And
moving
I
on to
wanna-
the match that...
I was just saying I want to give Mama's Boy entrance of the night, but yes, let's move the fuck
Yes.
on. Sorry for someone else daring to speak. Continue, Jeff.
Marcus.
No, it's just I've been trying to say, and everyone keeps cutting in. But yes, yeah, entrance of the night. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That was an awesome entrance.
Now you know how I feel week in and week out when I try to talk and everybody else keeps talking over me.
Yeah, it happens when everyone's the host. I just don't appreciate every time one of us spoke. All we hear in the background is.
To be fair, it was just the last time when I started getting exasperated. But anyway, as I was trying to say, moving on to the match that Jim slept through. Stephanie
He's
McMahon
tired.
versus Brie Bella.
Yeah, it's also worth pointing out, people, he didn't sleep through it because it was boring. He was working today. He was tired. The dude deserves a break.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I was giving you,
But in all fairness, from what I'm told, the match did suck.
the match did
Actually,
kind of
I thought-
suck.
It wasn't as good as it could have been because Steph was in there, but I was actually kind of impressed. I was like, okay, the match wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. And I'm sorry, Steph looked hot in that outfit.
She did look hot. Steph did look hot.
And especially when she flexed her arms, it's like, wow, she got muscle. She's showing her muscle. That's kind of awesome. Now I'm turned on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she did look hot. And the ending was kind of cool.
Yeah.
People had spoiled it and stuff, but it was
Yeah.
kind of cool. However, yeah, the quality wasn't that good, especially after Age PJ.
Yeah, still I have to give Steph props for looking as good as she did out there because I actually expected her not to be good at all. and she was actually, somewhat pulling off some moves and stuff, and I was just like, okay, this is actually kind of feeling like a match. I'm kind of impressed they've managed to do as well as they are.
Fair enough.
And then the ending, like you said, basically Steph wins after Nikki turns on Brie. We all saw that coming. And so it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. I'm kind of surprised that there was no mention or nothing happened with the affair thing. I thought at least it would have been mentioned tonight to continue that part of the story arc if they were going to continue it. So that kind of threw me for a loop.
It would have. I will also point out the only reason we saw that twist coming is because I know Jim had looked it up and read, which kind of spoilt it, the stuff from LOL dirt sheets and stuff. Because, like I said, I was watching it with people who hadn't seen that, and that was actually a surprise. I was like, good for you. It was completely spoiled for me.
Yeah, Jim, no more reading LOL dirt sheets.
Yeah, no, I just mean people can't say. It annoys me when wrestling fans say we totally saw this coming. It's like you didn't see this coming. You read it was coming and spoilt it for yourself. If you hadn't read it, you wouldn't have seen it coming.
I've seen enough.
Fair enough. I think if it hadn't been spoiled for us, I think it would have been a very real possibility because you could kind of tell they were pushing that direction with Stephanie all like up in Nikki's face about like, your sister betrayed you. She quit and left you to feel, to deal with the fallout of her shit by yourself.
She did, but as like someone else, like the person I was watching with, and they were like surprised by that. It was a case of the way everyone else had perceived that was basically Stephanie had done that, but yet Nikki hadn't given in. She still had her resolve. If not, it made the Bellas unite stronger, and it made Brie go forward with trying to get her hands on Steph. It just fueled the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like if, let's say I was feuding with one of the Usos, and I came out and beat up the other one. I wouldn't expect them to turn heel.
True.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But like I said, the matchup itself was kind of cool. The matchup itself, it was cool for what it was, but it wasn't anything to write home about.
Mm.
No. Stephanie, on the other hand. Anyway. Moving on to the next match of the night. Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. And where Roman Reigns wins via spear. I have to admit, this was actually a pretty good match.
It was.
This was my match of the night.
I have a couple of notes. Orton's counter of the spear into a power slam was damned impressive.
That was very good.
It was.
And then the catch RKO was well set up and executed, so I have to give them props for that.
Yep.
But so your guys' thoughts and notes on the match.
Like I said, I gave it match tonight. I thought the whole thing was pretty cool. It was kind of cool. I will also say, like I've pointed out in the past, I would actually wish Roman Reigns would swap the two finishes round. I wish he'd used the spear not as a finisher, because whenever he does it, he doesn't do as good as Edge or Goldberg, and I don't even like Goldberg, but he doesn't do as good as them. That should be a secondary finisher, like spear them, and when they get up, boom, Superman punch, because it's almost like Big Show's knockout punch, but with the full boom through the air, so it seems like more of an impact than the spear.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the Superman punch is more of a unique move for him.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else does it. So yeah, I can kind of see that. Also, am I the only one who can kind of see Orton doing a slow face turn after he realizes he's the only member of the Authority who lost tonight?
Because he's the only member of Authority that didn't have some kind of help.
Yep.
Yeah, well...
He had to come back. Triple H was helping Stephanie throughout her feud, and Kane was helping Seth Rollins, and Orton they basically all told Orton to fuck off and had not helped him for weeks.
But Orton shouldn't need help. I'm sorry, I like Seth Rollins, but if I looked at Seth Rollins and looked at Orton, you tell me which one looks like he would really need help.
Yeah, but he was against Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Randy Orton.
Roman Reigns is the guy that in recent months, they kept teasing him versus Cena as the two powers of WWE. Will those two actually get a one-on-one confrontation? Which means he's gone to be elevated up to, in terms of comics, he's like Captain Marvel with Superman. It's Superman. You kind of need help.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Plus, Orton is kind of a cowardly heel.
Yeah, he's kind of a chicken shit.
But yeah, I kind of seem doing a slow face turn after realizing he's the only one of the Authority that lost, and he didn't get any help. He's going to be kind of pissed about that.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
Me too. If anything, then that means he can shave and get rid of his gray stubble.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you noticed, but Orton's getting gray.
I also want that just because of a matchup I actually want, which I'll touch upon later.
Moving on.
I see where this is going. Moving on to the main event. Cena versus... Yeah, basically. Cena versus Lesnar for the WWE Championship, where Lesnar wins by massacre.
Wait. You said main event. Isn't Jim our main event correspondent?
Ah.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, Lesnar wins via massacre. It was literally a massacre of John Cena.
I almost burst out laughing like fuck with the first 30-second boom F5 1 2. Cena kicked out. I was like, oh come on! I kind of wanted that to be a free.
Yeah, me too. I was disappointed because basically it looks like they told Lesnar to extend the match so they could fill the time slot. And I'm like, no, you had him F5 Cena in the first 30 seconds. Just end the match. And the crowd kind of echoed what Jim and I were thinking. Boring.
I liked this. I liked it just because it was a slow destruction. It started boom straight away. Cena started to come back, but then boom, he gets taken out and stuff. And it was a case of, or it felt almost like the impossible again. Like he ended Undertaker's streak, and he's literally the unstoppable force, and not even John Cena could come back against. Which means he tried his comebacks and he failed. And I was like, that was great. I liked just the slow beatdown, and the fact it wasn't as balanced as it could have been with this matchup as well. Also led into the fact they've given me what I've wanted for years in WWE. We finally have a heel that can win cleanly and destroy a face. Brock looks fucking dominant now after that.
Yes, which Jim pointed out, which I agree with. I just felt it went on too long, or that they could have done something different, something a little better to fill the time. Like, I like the slow dominance. I like what you pointed out, but I just felt it went on too long and it dragged out too long. To the point that it did start getting boring. As awesome as it was to see Cena just get utterly and completely destroyed, I was like, I wanted it to end sooner.
I would make the case its longness was its brilliance.
That's true.
Because think about it like this. In a matchup like that, if you had the heel constantly destroying Cena, the longer it goes on, the more you expect that comeback. The more you're expecting him to super Cena it. And then when that doesn't come, it's even more of a blow, if that makes sense.
That's true.
This is true.
Am I the only one who, when Brock was throwing German suplexes around like he was Kurt Angle, when he did the first one, then did the second one, was anyone else expecting him to do a third? And I was about to throw in like, my God, King, shades of Chris Benoit.
I think that was my biggest problem with it, is that he kept doing the same move over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like, do a different move. We get it. You know how to do a German suplex, and it's devastating. But you're Brock fucking Lesnar. You have other moves that are as devastating, if not more devastating. Just mix it up so it's not boring. Him doing it the same move made it boring as fuck.
Exactly 16.
Yep.
I didn't know that because at the end, when they were going up the ramp, Michael Cole pointed out, and when we totaled it up, Brock Lesnar did a total of 16 suplexes to Cena.
Yep.
However, I will say that wasn't the ending I wanted.
Oh?
During the matchup, I kind of got a little disappointed. I actually wanted an ending, which I realized would be too for people, but I kind of wanted it when Brock got him to the floor, UFC style, and was starting to do those punches. I kind of wanted him to just keep going and have it where the match ends, Brock wins the title through no contest because Cena is incapable of getting up. Brock literally beat him up like a proper fighter and literally just did the UFC knockout on the floor, because that would have seemed A, more legit, and B, a lot more brutal, and again go into that thing of the impossible, because he's literally just destroyed Cena, who never gives up, in a way where he can never stand up and finish the match.
Yeah, but that goes against the rules. They can't do that because a title can only change hands via pinfall or submission, not via knockout.
I thought it could sometimes. I thought they've done that before. Now it's been like no contest, the titles changes or something.
I'm pretty sure that has happened. Isn't that how freaking Bret Hart beat Austin?
Yep.
What do you mean?
When Austin passed out.
Yeah, but that's considered a submission. When he passes out, that's considered tapping out to the submission. So therefore, Bret Hart won via submission. That's why the title changed hands.
Fair enough.
But at the same time, Brock was yelling at the ref to end the match, which means that clearly, had the ref ended the match, Brock would have become the champion because it basically would have been a win by forfeit.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. If the champion himself says, I quit, he can have the title, then the title can change hands because the champion himself is giving up the title.
Fair
but
enough.
if he gets knocked out and the ref is just like, he can't compete anymore, that's not giving up the title. That's like basically, that's like a count out at that point.
Yeah, like I said, which
I was hoping he would do, he never did, and it kind of disappointed me, especially after Cena busted out the STF. I expected Brock to bust out the Kimura lock and snap Cena's arm.
Yeah, that would have been good as well if he had tapped him out. That could have been cool as well. Like I said, inevitably there's going to be a rematch. Then during the rematch, can we please have the ending? I want to just just full on, go full on and make Brock just end Cena.
Yes.
I'm not saying end him
Yes.
completely. I expect him to be back. I have no problem Cena being on TV. I'm not one of those lol, it's Cena, let's just hate him now that he's not as bad as he used to be. It's a case of, for storytelling, how awesome will that make Brock?
Yeah.
But yeah, since that ends the pay-per-view, I will say, like I mentioned earlier, if Randy turns face, I kind of want to see Randy Orton v Brock, because I don't think we've seen that before.
I don't think we have.
And if we have, it was when they first started off. Plus, like, I can imagine Brock putting Randy Orton on his shoulders to do the F5 and boom, RKO.
That would make sense.
I don't want Orton to win, but that's a new challenger.
It is. And it would make sense because if they're going to do what I think they're going to do, what I hope they will do, is they'll have Brock just to keep the title, just destroy what he can destroy Orton, destroy Cena some more, destroy everybody who comes his way. What's that? Sheamus, yeah, destroy Sheamus, all these guys, Big Show, whoever. And inevitably, as he's this unstoppable force that ended the streak and did all this, even if they manage to keep it, if they can keep Brock long enough to do it until WrestleMania, have Roman Reigns be the guy to dethrone him, and that will establish him as the face of WWE for the next decade and a half.
That's what I've been saying on this podcast for a while. I want to see that happen, and I want to see Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble and do that at WrestleMania. It's a perfect way to launch Reigns.
It is. The only problem is with Brock's contract and his limited appearances per his contract, I don't know if they can make it last that long, unless they have Brock be one of those champions like The Rock who only shows up like once a month.
Unless they've changed it, unless they change his contract.
Yeah, they could change it if Brock is willing to do that, yeah.
He might be back for one more run, and then after he loses the title, he may permanently retire. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing he's coming back for one more title run and then going to retire.
It's like, as bad as it is, and I know some people would boo this, it's like, because of when he's due back, I kind of want Brock to destroy Daniel Bryan on his comeback match.
That would be good, yes.
I don't mean because boo Bryan, because if they book Bryan right, he's great. But a massive face that the crowd cheer, coming back from an injury, you expect him to win.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping they don't pull the cliche and have Bryan win the Rumble. I'm hoping if they did it that way, imagine Daniel Bryan coming back with yes, the crowd, yes. They build it up as Daniel Bryan, the underdog who always overcomes these odds and stuff. Boom, Brock destroys him. It cements Brock even more. It's just, and it makes a great heel.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I'm watching this. I just watched the opening and watching this Wyatt Jericho match right now. Yeah, you're right. Did Bray Wyatt come out in a welding apron? What the hell was that?
Yeah, see? I thought it looked kind of like a butcher's apron, but, well, I guess it's leather, so it'd be like a welding apron. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, there's loads of stuff they can do with that. I'm also curious what's going to happen with the Nikki Bella stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
From
guess
the
it's gonna go
pay-per-view.
for it. I'm gonna guess it's gonna go for another month. WWE is gonna realize how incredibly stupid it is that face turned Nikki Bella back.
Uh, yeah, I was saying I want to see where it goes because, as people know, Total Divas. She's going to be friendly with her and stuff like that. And people know Nikki's with Cena. Could Cena turn heel to join his girlfriend, or are they just going to not mention Nikki and Cena being girlfriend boyfriend?
Good question.
I think it depends. If they get serious, they kind of have to mention them together. Or it could be awkward in the locker room.
It could be. But that's something that'd be devastating for WWE. This will not happen. I'm not one of those calling it and saying it needs to happen or that this is going to happen. However, how awesome would it be if at the next pay-per-view Brock wins again? After the matchup, the next night on Raw, what if Cena came out and destroyed like a face or something like that and declares himself that he's now realized that Brock and CM Punk and stuff was right, and Cena now declares himself a Paul Heyman guy.
That'd be amazing.
Yes!
Imagine Brock and Cena as the dominant heel faction.
That would cement Roman Reigns even more, because then they'll get the Reigns v Cena match they want. Reigns will fucking destroy him, and then go on to Brock.
Yep.
Yep. But
That'd be hilarious. Paul and Brock watch out there in the ring, and you see Cena just running around like getting him coffee and shit.
Yep. But is it also wrong if they did that? This is something I kind of want. Is it wrong? I'd kind of want almost a heel v heel war.
Oh?
I want Cena to turn heel. I'd want Cena to turn heel and become a Paul Heyman guy. Then you got him, you got Cesaro, and you got Brock with those three. I then want Paul Heyman to come out on Raw and be like, so, Triple H, yeah? We helped you with Plan C, yeah? But that's not enough for us anymore. Oh? I want the power. And have Kane, Orton, and Seth Rollins v Brock, Cena, and stuff like that with Paul Heyman overthrowing authority. Stephanie and Triple H go away. But it's a case of they've overthrown them, and now we've got something worse. That'd just be kind of cool. I don't know why. Or imagine if both nerds together.
Except Cesaro's no longer a Paul Heyman guy, so there's only two of them right now.
He kind of is, because he came out the other night. He came out just like a couple of weeks ago against Cena because he was the Paul Heyman guy.
No, and another new. Cesaro declared months ago. He came out right and said, "I am no longer a Paul Heyman guy." That's why he's been buried to fuck.
Yeah, he said, "I'm no longer a Paul Heyman guy."
When he came out that week, he said outright, "Even though I'm no longer a Paul Heyman guy, Paul Heyman is still my friend. So just this once, I'm gonna come out and because he's my friend, because I hate Cena, I'm gonna come out and fucking destroy Cena." And then Cena destroyed him.
Yeah, which that's what I was on about. The fact they did that means he could come back and be a Paul Heyman guy. The door's been left open within enough time because it was like what 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see. It is WWE. They don't really care much about continuity anyway.
Again, it's not a let's see, because I said this would not happen. I don't expect it to happen. I'm just saying I'd kind of like that, but it won't.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
It's not a prediction in any sort of way.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Speaking of predictions, though, anybody have any thoughts on what we might see on tomorrow's Fallout Raw?
I'm going to say I'm predicting Brock's going to come out and say he's a new champion, and therefore he needs a new championship. And it's going to be a new championship with a new logo.
Mm-hmm. How how hilarious would it be if they're going to bring out this new title, and they got the new title, like Triple H has to bring Brock out the new title or something, and they're doing all this, and throughout the course as they're promoting the new title and about what the logo means, somebody fucks up and says the title's worth $9.99.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be hilarious.
It does be fun. Like I'm joking about the new title. We all know that's happening, but that's probably going to happen. But like I joked to you guys, I can't remember if it was in the podcast or not. I kind of want the side plates of Brock's title where he gets the logo to say 21 and 1 or 21-0-1. I just think that'd be great.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. If they do it right, Cena should not show up at all tomorrow.
I agree.
Sell the fact that he just got destroyed and he's all depressed, because that's what they. Because didn't they do that with the Cena Rock feud? After Rock kicked his ass, Cena disappeared for like a week or two.
Yep.
But even though they didn't actually show this on TV, on pay-per-views and stuff like that, with Brock being a mercenary, as he screamed out and stuff, I would say, I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know why. I just want this to be a thing. I think it'd be cool if we go to Brock Lesnar's locker room and he now has a shelf or a trophy case with Cena's dog tags and Undertaker's hat.
That'd be cool.
Like he's literally a mercenary taking trophies off people.
He's got to have the urn in there.
They gave that to Paul Bearer's children.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's why I said Undertaker's hat. But the Cena's dog tags and stuff, that should be a thing. Also, it's worth pointing out, which we didn't mention, I think they changed Stephanie's nickname.
Oh?
I can't remember, we haven't pointed this on the podcast if they did it in the past, but during the promos leading into SummerSlam, you know with the thing I told you about where it stopped and it showed you each person?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't call her the billionaire princess. Or the $1 billion daughter, or whatever, $1 billion princess.
No. What do they call her?
The $1 billion baroness.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Could that be why she came out in that outfit? Because now that you mentioned that, yeah, her outfit's kind of reminiscent of the Baroness.
Yeah. And also, if you go on WWE.shop.com right now, I saw this earlier when I went to check out what was on the back of Jack Swagger's new shirt. They showed there's a whole line of Stephanie-related merchandise on there that you could buy right now. For example, there's a Daniel Bryan shirt where instead of yes, 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 it says Steph, Steph, Steph. There's a copy of the Triple H shirt. It says Steph for business.
Nice.
All kinds of shit like that. You can buy those now. WWEshop.com.
Nice.
Is there a t-shirt yet with arrive, say 999, leave?
There should be. We need to make that.
Oh, since we're talking about shirts, Jim mentioned Swagger's shirt while we were watching the pay-per-view, which is kind of awesome. Where it's a blue shirt with a red handprint like over the heart, and then on the back, what'd you say, Jim? It's an American flag that says "We the People" on it.
Yeah, there's a small American flag drawn in lines, and then under that in white writing it says "We the People." But it's kind of small, so it's hard to see.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Even though he's only been in a couple of matches since it was tonight as well, which I also mentioned it to the person I was watching, does anyone else love the touch with Brock Lesnar's outfit?
What's that?
Look at his boots and everything like that. It's all branded in the same stuff as his
UFC.
UFC.
Yeah. I know that, like the back of his shorts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the back of his boots and say it and stuff. And I'm like, that's just a nice touch. I don't know why. It's just a nice little touch.
It's a very nice touch. It makes him legitimate. Also, speaking of Lesnar, am I the only one who wants them to do what you said, Mole, and give him like a trophy shelf or something, and have it run for a while, and then I don't know, like maybe around the Royal Rumble-ish time, it cuts back there. Brock is there with Paul Heyman. They say whatever they're gonna say, and then like they go out. Like they're gonna head to the ring, but then the camera stays in the locker room, and it just focuses on the Undertaker's hat. Then all of a sudden it starts to lift up, and as it lifts up, you notice it's on something, and as it lifts up off the screen, you notice it's on the end of a baseball bat.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, like I said,
Tell me that wouldn't be fucking awesome.
Yeah, like I said, the trophy case could be cool if it did. Like you could have Kane's mask and stuff if Kane ever turns face again and stuff like that, which would be great. And is it also wrong? I totally want a piss take scene with it.
Okay.
Oh.
Paul Heyman and Brock laughing as they enter the locker room. It just cuts to them. What the fuck are you doing? It then pans over, and there's Damien Sandow wearing everything in the trophy case. He's like, I needed the new outfit.
By the way, if Lesnar's supposed to be taking trophies from all the people he's defeated, does that mean after he defeats Daniel Bryan, Brie Bella will end up on the case?
Yeah.
There you go.
Or if he ever beats The Rock again, there will be a Blu-ray copy of Journey 2 and 3, which he's currently filming, or Journey 3 and 4, which he's currently filming back to back.
There you go.
Available at Walmart for just $9.99.
There you go. He destroys Randy Orton. We see Randy Orton's new gloves in there.
See, I don't know that those are gloves. I think those might be hand wraps.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't tell.
He defeats Randy Orton. Defeats Randy Orton, and it's just a box on the shelf, and everyone's like, what's the box for? And Paul Heyman explains, it contains the voiceless.
Yes.
There you
I was
go.
thinking it'd be a glass bottle. I was thinking it would just be a glass bottle with Orton's logo on it, and under it just says IED.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Like I said, they're not going to go the trophy case thing, but I think that would have been awesome for Brock as a mercenary. Imagine him actually having a trophy case.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Especially if
yeah,
they're trying to build him up as this guy who's just going to destroy people. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, he needs a trophy case.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he needs to take silly trophies, but like Undertaker's hat, Cena's dog tags, then I could totally see him being like, I don't know, let's say he takes on Orton, he could take Orton's t-shirt and just hang it in there like a shattered t-shirt or something. It'd be kind of cool.
What would he put in there for Sheamus?
Sheamus is
Hornswoggle.
crossed. Hornswoggle.
There you go.
Yeah,
No, Sheamus is crossed. The Celtic
the
cross.
Celtic cross. Yeah,
Okay.
it had to be the Celtic cross.
And then when he eventually takes out Triple H, he gets the sledgehammer, the equalizer.
Yeah, which Miley Cyrus, when she hosts, will just be in there licking.
Yeah.
Or if we're going to do the take the piss answer, when he defeats Triple H, Shawn Michaels shows up in the case.
Ah.
Wouldn't it be Stephanie? That's his biggest treasure.
There you go.
It's just
Actually,
but
no, his
like-
biggest treasure. No, he beats Triple H, and a model of the WWE corporate building shows up in the case.
Yeah. But I think it'd be cool if like a Triple H was like sledgehammer or water bottle or something like that. That'd be kind of cool too. Just anything. And there's so many wrestlers that have trophies. It makes so much sense.
Yeah. No, he beats Triple H, and then there's just this random like this old looking leather bound book in there. Like, wait, what's that? And it pulls over the cover. It just says "What's Best for Business" by Vince McMahon.
It's like if he started to do the trophies, I'd actually want him to go kind of Bane-ish
Mm-hmm.
from Dark Knight Returns and from the comics. I kind of want him to have a matchup at one point with Rey Mysterio, and I want him to break him and remove the mask.
You
There
know,
you go.
I don't know if you bring that up. I saw on Twitter during the match. I was watching people live tweeting, and somebody said something about, "Oh, this makes Cena look weak now." Somebody else replied to it, like, "You saying Brock makes Cena look weak? That's like saying that Bane fighting Batman made Batman look weak."
Yeah. That didn't make Cena look weak because we've seen Cena. All that did is make Brock look strong. There's a difference.
Exactly. That's like when Bane broke the Batman's back. It didn't make Batman look weak. It made Bane look impressive.
Yeah. And I honestly think something like that. Like I said, I think Brock, though, in a seriousness, I think Brock is great as a heel. What do you call it? As a heel champion. I don't like Brock. It's worth pointing out. I'm not a massive Brock fan by any stretch of the imagination. However, I don't mind him. I don't mind him being champion like that. I think it's a great heel champion we haven't had for a while. Even CM Punk. Take CM Punk. We had CM Punk, a guy that could wrestle, a guy that could actually do the job right. And the second he turned heel, he turned into a coward. Same thing with Orton.
This is true.
And that just irks me. I want a heel that's dominant, and looks like we got one.
Finally.
Yeah. Now, I just had this idea, and I don't know if it would make Roman Reigns look weak, but I was thinking with the idea that you had, Mole, of the bounty hunter thing, where he has his trophy case, I was thinking it builds up, he destroys all these people, gets all these trophies, then WrestleMania comes around, and he goes out to have his match with Reigns. They're in the ring, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of the match, the Titantron pops up, and it's a camera shot of his locker room with the trophy case. The camera's pointing at the trophy case. You just hear the door open and close, the door to the locker room, and then you just see a hand come into shot, and it opens, and it opens the case, or like breaks the case open, and the hand goes away, and you start seeing these hands come in, like you can see like Kane's gloved hand come in and grab his mask, and you like see like this arm come in with like Cena's armband and grabs his dog tag, stuff like that, and he's like, what's going on here? You know, Paul Heyman's like, what? There's someone in our locker room, da, da, da. And all the trophies are taken. And after the final trophy is taken, the camera pans out, and you just see the back of this guy with dirty brown hair, fucking wife beater, tattered jeans. He just turns around, and it's Dean Ambrose, and he goes, "Believe," and walks out of the locker room. And then in the middle of the match, like all the people that Brock beat come out one by one, not to really interfere. They're just gonna stand there to cheer on Roman Reigns and to be like, you know, give him the support. So it's like all the faces are now giving Roman Reigns the support and basically saying, "You are now the man. Destroy the beast."
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Although with that, I'd want to go the Bret Hart route.
Oh,
I would like Roman Reigns to beat Brock cleanly, cementing him as champion. Nobody coming out. Then once he's won, then have Cena and Sheamus and the faces come out and raise him up on their shoulders.
There you
there
go.
you go.
That would just be a great scene. That'd just be a great WrestleMania moment. It's been done before. It'd just be a great moment. Is it also wrong? I kind of wanted a scene at the end of the SummerSlam to take the piss.
What's that?
What's that?
And I'm going to give props to Richter for using one of his catchphrases here. I kind of wish after Brock won, I just wish the camera cut backstage to Seth Rollins holding his Money in the Bank briefcase and just go, this is why I can't have nice things.
Yes.
There you go.
But is anyone else feeling a little sorry for Seth Rollins?
A little bit.
Only because, don't get me wrong, the Dean Ambrose thing, cool, not for that feud, but based on the fact the way Dean Ambrose, their feud has to change. Because the way it's been built up so far is Seth Rollins going to cash in his Money in the Bank? Nope. Do you really think Seth Rollins has the balls to try and cash in on Brock?
No.
Well, whether he has the balls or not, I don't think Triple H would let him.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, but I just mean I could see him trying to. I just don't see him coming out and doing that. No, it's just.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What if Seth Rollins about to do it, and it doesn't, the match starts or doesn't get cashed in, and Brock destroys him, and then Brock takes the briefcase and puts it in his display case, and then just holds it until later, and randomly Brock gets beat by Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman rushes it back, he just runs back out with the briefcase and hands it over, and then Brock wins the title back immediately.
Yeah, although I would say that is something they could do. That is something I think they should possibly look into doing with this feud.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Just because I kind of think about it, this kind of makes sense. What if Dean Ambrose eventually has a matchup with Seth Rollins to put his Money in the Bank on the line? Dean Ambrose wins, and then near WrestleMania, like right near WrestleMania, like the week before, at Extreme Rules or something, when Roman Reigns has won the Royal Rumble, have Dean Ambrose cash in like for a legit match and have him get destroyed. So it's the whole thing of now your friend's been destroyed. Now it's even more personal between these two.
That would make sense.
That would make sense and would be brilliant storytelling, I personally feel anyway.
Therefore, it won't happen.
Yeah.
Although WWE could surprise us.
Anything's
It
possible.
could surprise us. I will also point out that's the same response everyone had to Brock. We're beating Cena at SummerSlam with. That's the thing that makes sense, so it won't happen.
Touche.
True.
But anyway, fun fact for everybody, I just happen to notice this, but if anyone's interested out there, and you want to check it out, if you head on to the WWE Network right now, you can actually watch Slam City.
For just $9.99.
Exactly. I see some episodes on here on the lineup after the WrestleMania Rewind. So
You should watch them. Slam City is awesome. Speaking of Slam City, it's also worth pointing out, like I mentioned in the past, just a reminder for folks, in the next couple of months, keep your appearance out, because I think you can pre-order on Amazon right now. And at least in the UK, I don't know if it's in the US, Slam City is coming on DVD as a budget DVD, so it's going to be pretty damn cheap.
nice.
So purchasing that.
As well you should.
But I think we've waffled on long enough about.
Indeed. Take us home, oh shadowy one.
Indeed. Thank you, Mole and Jim, for joining me. Thank you to our listeners and viewers out there. Hopefully you enjoyed our little ramblings about SummerSlam and the future of WWE and feuds and whatnot. What would you like to see happen? Did you guys like SummerSlam? Did you like what happened? Did you like Brock destroying Cena? Give us your impressions, your opinions, and your future forecasts either below in the comments or on our website, or you can even tweet the X-Pound.
Indeed.
Until next time, this has been WXR. I have been Marcus Shadow. Good night.
I'm a mercenary.